Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to PSGL season 27. This is round number 11, and we head to the penultimate round of the season, where it usually hosts the final round of the season. It is in the Yas Marina circuit for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. My name is Jess, and joining me as per usual, we got Ben. How you doing?
I'm doing alright, Jess. How are you?
I am doing great. We've got a championship decider still to be done, because last week we saw Smasher be ahead of Luck by quite some margin, which means that the gap now was dropped down to 17 points now, which means anything can happen. It could swing in Smasher's favour tonight, where he could score enough points that he needed to keep his fight alive, or Luck could finish ahead of Smasher and then he could win the title. That's what Luck needs to do in order to secure the title tonight. Just outscore Smasher, which he hasn't done for quite some time. I mean, the last time he outscored Smasher was, I believe, in Singapore. So he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get back to his form. He's had a few podiums this season anyway, so I have a feeling that the last few races were a few one-offs, and maybe this could be the race where he shines.
Yeah, a couple of poor races tend to motivate you to improve your performance in the next couple. So hopefully, Luck can perform enough to be able to produce the winner of Smasher. We'll have to see tonight. Personally, and I'm going to ask you the same question once I'm done here, I feel like Luck can get it done today. However, he just needs a peace and quiet race. He doesn't need any major action or anything like that.
Well, to be honest, Luck was not feeling as confident compared to the likes of the other drivers about Abu Dhabi. He feels like Smasher is better at Abu Dhabi than him, but he's just got to let that go out of his mind. He's got to focus on his mindset, and that is to win the race. If you win the race, then that is hunky-dory. You secure the title right there, and basically if you win the title, you get a nice chunk of money, 80 quid, which you could use to spend on some nice things, I have to say. I can't think what people would spend 80 quid on. Maybe, I don't know, maybe another game perhaps, potentially as well, or maybe puts towards getting some other things, I don't know. But basically, Luck could be in that situation tonight. And looking at the constructors, Mercedes on 145, Red Bull 117, Haas 73, AlphaTauri 67, McLaren 63, Williams 56, Alfa Romeo 55, Ferrari 36, Racing Point 24, and Renault with last place with 18 points. I will need to do the maths if Mercedes have done enough for the constructors or not. I'm not good at that maths. I'm more good at driver championship maths. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. So we head towards the track now, which is a track where it hardly ever rains around this track. First held in 2009. It debuted as a season finale where Sebastian Vettel won for Mark Webber and Jenson Button was in third. Vettel went on to secure the title in Abu Dhabi a year later. So here we go with Luck then, as he goes on board into these tight chicanes. And I have to say, this was there's a few people that said, oh, just cut these chicanes and make it a straight line, but for some people like me and Ben included, I think we should probably keep that to make it more interesting. But there's some straights where you can't really overtake in real life. The real life race was a bit boring, I have to say, but in league racing it provides a little bit more overtakes, a little bit more drama, and some great action as well as he heads towards the next DRS zone as well. We've seen a lot more overtakes, I think, happen in the real life race here as well. So as he heads towards, I can't remember what turn it is, I need to get the map up, but we are just starting sector 3. He's purple at the moment, but he's one of the first ones to set a lap time, apart from a few at the front. And now you're heading to a section where quite a few people tend to go off the circuit, as there was a little bit of a lag spike on my screen. Apologies that my internet may be playing up a bit today. And you're going to be heading towards the final few corners. There is 21 turns that make up this Abu Dhabi circuit, 13 to the left, 8 to the right. What does he do? And he's set on 132.4. Now, we were speaking before the race, and we are expecting lap times to be a 131.9, give or take, Ben.
So, pole in another league was a 131.9. My personal PB is a 31.7, but I'm a commentator, so nobody cares. I have seen people pull off 31.8s, so be interesting to see what we see tonight. A man who I'm definitely interested in is McLaren McCabe Sam, who's coming through the triple right-hander now. The Turkey-style braking zone, as I call it. Smasher goes faster than a 132, 434.
Oh!
7/1000ths of a second separating the two CRG drivers there, 1 and 2 right now. McCabe Sam recently joined Sync into the final couple of corners, sends it in quite well. Final corner now, if you can just turn this in nicely, should be a really competitive lap time. Is it going to be a high 32? Yes, it is. It's 32 points, devil number.
Yeah, 32.666. That is a shame it's not like 007 or anything like that, but jokes aside. But anyway, Sam just missed out on the podium last week, but he's looking to gain some more podiums, I have to say. Smasher has had a consistent podiums as well, and he's doing very well to top the timing sheets. And I have to say, people being on the low 132s already is a good sign that we could see people in the 131s, as Dave Rombus is... I think invalidated his last lap. We got Matthew Reed, who we're riding on board. He's invalidated as well. Is this a track where we're probably going to see quite a lot of penalties today? Because I think I've seen it in many Abu Dhabi races where they just can't get a lap together until the last possible second. Let's hope these drivers don't have a one-shot qualifying style lap, because that will just go horribly wrong.
I won't be surprised if that's the situation we end up having for some of these drivers. As you said, it's very, very easy to invalidate around here. Watching certain people already, there's been some real struggles. Speaking of struggles, Oxted's only on a 33.6. His middle sector, the car just seemed like it was, I don't know how to describe it, just not working. I don't know if he's... Somebody just tried to ring me, which is a problem. So apology if that played through. I don't know if that did. It played from my headphones. It was very, very loud.
It did not play through my headphones, so it's all good.
Go for that, because that's copyright music.
Indeed.
Yeah. As I was saying, it's been one of those situations where this track is so easy to invalidate at that you're going to see drivers, as you said, probably going for that one-lap run as Sparks joins. He's on the grid, right? Yeah.
He's got a quali ban this week.
That'll be why he joined late.
He's got a qualifying ban this week. So he was a very naughty boy the last couple of races, and I believe he was meant to serve it last week, but he forgot. So and I do believe you get penalties added to your race if you don't serve them. So Sparks will have to serve it today, of course. But starting last in the grid in Abu Dhabi may not be the best of ideas, due to the fact it's one of the, out of all the tracks, probably one of the hardest to at least overtake on, I have to say. As we're on board with Peroni, who's had a good string of form at the moment in the AlphaTauri. 47 points to his name, and his best result was a P3 in Mexico. Took advantage of other people getting penalties and having worse races than he did at the moment. But he's on the softs at the moment. Everyone's on the softs apart from Rossi, but we don't want to talk about him. And Sparks is also on the inters. I can't remember actually. Connor may correct me on this. I'm not sure they are allowed to go. If they do have a quality ban, are they allowed to go on an installation lap to get a setup on, or do they have to stay in the pits? Because sometimes there's a glitch on this game where if you don't go out and have a quality ban, then it doesn't save your setup. So let's hope it does not happen here, as Crescito, who's had very unlucky moments in the last few races, has invalidated again. I think he's probably had the most DNFs this season out of all the drivers. He's had, let me just have a look at how many DNFs he's had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DNFs out of 10 races, which it doesn't take maths to figure out, is a 70% non-finish rate.
Felipe goes fastest on a 132.418. Very solid lap. Had a very strong first sector as middle was quite slidey. Last sector appeared to be quite strong, the little bits I saw of it. Felipe's teammate, Crescito, would have gone P4 at the time with his lap. It was a decent lap from him, nothing exceptional, as Lefted now joins as well. But overall, P1 right now for Felipe. I see that being beat at 32.4 is quite easily beatable around here, but it really depends on how much confidence people have. Jacob B's on the lap now in the other Haas. through the final sector now. Brakes just at the optimal point, turns in, slobbers the curb. You can actually hit that curb a lot harder than you think on the inside of turn 15, I believe it is, off the top of my head. You can turn in, you can really cut the inside of it, but we'll have to see. Good couple of corners. From the Haas there, gets a little bit loose, big loose actually over the line, up to the line, goes fastest, and we have 4 cars separated by 35 1,000th of a second.
That's crazy, I have to say. To be honest, it doesn't get any closer than that. I thought it was F1 esports for a second, but it's not. But don't forget, Luck also in the Challenger Series as well, so he's matching pretty much almost F1 esports pace, these top 4 guys as well. Don't forget, Jakey B won the race last week. Let's just say there was some situations where it helped him, where he was at that high up anyway, because he was on the hards, I believe, at the start. And I was trying to remember which, if it was the Xbox race where it was a dry to wet race. I think it was.
Yes.
Good. I didn't get that wrong there, and he was on the right tyres at the right time. And he was still at the front, and then he pitted for the Inters, and then that really helped him, and he got the win, and he got 16 points to his name, which promoted him quite a few positions in the driver's standings. P5, which is actually just overtaken Brown. Brown was third last week, third pretty much for the majority of the season. He's not dropped 3 positions due to his poor performance last week. He had a strong half of the season at the start of the season, before you joined the commentary box, but during the second half of the season, it's just not been his day, sadly.
Yeah, unfortunately, that can be the case with people. They can struggle in certain scenarios, but we'll have to see. A man who doesn't appear like he's struggling. It's Brown as Luck goes fastest on a 1:32.185.
That's good.
Now we're starting to get a little bit more serious there. Good lap from him. Up to the line, Brown with a 32.582. As we've just had 2 drivers disconnect from the lobby.
That's not good. That is not good. Hopefully they can join the session, as I have to say, I don't know how Alex is in this lobby. Oh, yeah, he's in this lobby anyway. But Josu, Sparks and Lefty joined the session. We had 18 drivers. Now we got a full lobby. So that's always like to say. We always like to see full lobbies in PSGL. So thanks to all the drivers. Clenzo's left the session as well, which is again worrying. Sam's left the session too. I'm going to check Discord to see if there's going to be...
Yep.
Because this lobby is not hasn't been the best recently, and but we will have to wait and see, of course. As Smasher goes fastest with a 1:20.32.1, so he's very, very close to the 1:31.9s that potentially that we were predicting at the moment. And no restarts apparently. I think it's just probably maybe Cody's servers having a bit of an issue today. We don't know, but we'll have to find out. But luckily Sam has joined the lobby. Hopefully he doesn't put them to last place, because that's where we saw who was it? Was it Singapore where we saw someone go to last place or something unexpectedly? But yeah, but we shall see.
It wouldn't surprise me if a driver just gets dumped to the back of the grid. It tends to only happen when you've joined a session midway through, but we'll have to find out with that, as we have a yellow flag out on the circuit at the moment. I don't think it's for anything. Dave Rombus joins us. Matthew Reese is the next one to disconnect from the lobby. There's a lot of people being disconnected, I'll be honest.
It might just be let's kill everyone's internet day.
Well, if I'm next on the agenda, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, me too, because both our internet has been quite dodgy today, but there we go. I was trying to sort out the internet whilst people on their lap, so that was probably why. But anyway, 3 minutes left to go, heading towards the calm before the storm. We're seeing Felipe on his lap now, and I hope it's just our internet being poo, because, you know, it looks like almost everyone kept disconnecting and rejoining. It looks like everybody's... I mean, Matthew Reese's game was crashed. That's probably what's happened to him. And Felipe has had a bit of, I think, in and out. Says, that was almost into the walls there, but luckily he avoided that. But as he heads towards the end of the DRS straight now, and I think we've seen quite a few people go off here in the Williams car, but we shall see. But I was speaking about Felipe. The best result he's had was a P2 in Monza. He's had a P3 in USA. Hasn't scored any podiums apart from that. He's only scored 2 podiums, and we were predicting before the season that he was actually going to be a title contender, but unfortunately he hasn't been. So he's got Placchi in front of him. Let's hope he doesn't interfere with his lap time as he heads towards the final corner now. Nobody goes into the pit, so he must have not been happy, or he just wants to get in for a final run where the track evolution is a lot better, which, to be honest, I have to say is the best thing to do.
It was an alright lap for Felipe until he made that little mistake on the exit of turn 8. Something quite easily done. Placchi was actually on a lap behind him. Felipe backed off and let him through. But Placchi with a good lap time of 32.446 currently moves himself up into P5. See how this works out for him at the end of the session. Clicito has gone again. Lefted has retired from the lobby. He will start at best P16 in the... I can't remember which car he drives for.
Alfa Romeo. But a worse P19, obviously, because Sparks has got a quali ban.
Yeah. Clicito with a very strong first sector in the Williams. Doesn't negotiate this chicane afterwards very well. Goes to Narnia. And I think that's going to be his session over. Yeah.
He was purple sector 1 as well. So...
I don't think it was actual purple. It was a strong first sector, don't get me wrong. When you look at the time, it was a 694. I believe purple first sector was a 613 to Minaj.
Oh, right, okay. Clicito just binned it. So that's his session over. Yep. So Lefty will be finishing at least higher than him in qualifying, which is not too bad. Let's Lies on the board a lap now. He's only 6/100 slower than Smasher. Don't forget, I believe as it stands, if it's like this at the end of the race, Lutz, I think it will still go to the final race, but if it's level on points, Lutz will win on countback. I need to actually see who would win on countbacks to see who got the most wins, because it's usually who gets more first places, but at the moment it will be Lutz because he's got more first place wins. He's got 3, whereas Smasher's got 2. So that is how a tie is settled in PSGL. That's how it stands. But I think because you've got the gaps have got to be at least 16 points or lower in order to be going to the final round. So, but Smasher will need to win with Luck having a bad race next week in order for Smasher to win the title. So Luck's got 2 chances. If he doesn't win it tonight, that will happen. And as Luck invalidated, that was probably what the always for. And that is his session.
No, it wasn't for that. It was for Perondi, who just went P8. He's clobbered the wall on his lap.
Oh.
Knocked part of his wig off for the final couple of corners. It was a really strong lap for Perondi. But unfortunately, that is it for him. There is a bit of traffic in the first sector, a lot of traffic in the first sector. Smasher, however, is very much up in the first sector.
Yep, he is. In sector 2 as well.
Yeah, there you go.
And, look at this. JKB with 132.002. And I wonder if Smash is going to go even quicker. We have to find out as well. We got Mercedes right behind him. It's not Lutz, it's Lutz's teammate Brown, so we'll go on board with Brown in just a second, but this is the man to watch out for. Smasher needs to keep up his form tonight if he wants to stand a chance of taking the fight all the way to Japan. Comes across the final corner, and it is pole, 1:13.19 for him. Brown can only manage 4th position. Next to cross the line will be Octet's Smasher's teammate, can only manage 7th. Sam has invalidated his lap. So he's not going to get a good lap in, unfortunately. Reese is heading towards the final few corners as well to see what he can do. He's obviously full-time now, so he's got a point to prove, and he's basically want to score points for the Alfa Romeos for the Constructors' Championship. Quite a few people have retired from the session. So Reese comes across the line. 1:32.5 for him. Then we have a racing point, I believe, or Haas. He can't do any better, so I think we're all down to Luck. I didn't see what his sectors 2 split was as he heads towards the final corner. 1:32.1 can only manage 3rd. which again it's not what he wants. And Smasher has put the car where he definitely wants to be at the end of the session, and that is P1.
Yeah, good luck there from Smasher. On pole position then, Lot set the exact same lap time as he did previously.
Wow. That is Mr. Consistent for Lot, I have to say. If he could keep consistent laps in this form, then maybe that can help him in the race, because that's where the points count. But anyway, Smasher is on pole with Jakey in second, Lot in third, Brown in fourth, Felipe fifth, Placky sixth, Octes with a good qualifying in seventh, Matthew Rees in seventh, Matthew Rees in eighth, Sam in ninth, Peroni in tenth, then we got Clenzo, Dark Killer, Daegu, Dave Rombus, Dominic, Rosie, Lefted, Got to Go Fast, Cosito and Spart in last place with three people who were meant to set a lap time did not set a lap time, and that is a bit sad, but it sometimes it happens around here. As no rain to be expected, obviously, because it doesn't rain on this game in Abu Dhabi unless someone sets the sprinklers around here, which never happens. But looking at the strategies then, it's quite a close one to call, because literally people can go any way in terms of strategy. Like, there's three types of strategies. Like, some people may go for the two-stop, some people may do soft to hard or medium to hard, or even some people will bravely be doing soft to mediums, which apparently, according to our little graphic, it can be done, but I doubt it. But these drivers are probably fast enough to do it. What do you think the drivers could do today in terms of strat?
There's one strategy you don't do, and there's two that are viable. The one you don't do is a one-stop starting on softs. You just don't. Unless there's another safety car, then maybe. The thing you do, if you're starting on soft tyres, the soft, medium, that tends to be the strat for that. As for anybody else out of the top 10, probably best start on the hards, maybe start on the medium, something like that. Just take the car to the end, to as far as you can get, really, and run to the end. Looking at the field, it seems like a lot of the guys have chosen the medium, so Clenzo, Darkler, Daegu, Rossi, Got to Go Fast, Crosito, Lefted, and Sparks, with Dominic on hards and Days Rombus on the soft tyres, but I'm not sure if he's in the session.
Oh, he is in the session because he is not ghosted, and I believe ghosting's on, so I think he's in. I'm just trying to see.
He's AI.
Oh, that's probably why then. Okay,
yeah.
So
looking back from Daegu, I can see it's AI, so that's not too much of a problem. So that might be an actual strategy call there from Mr. Rombus.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to go AI in Formation Lab. I think you are, aren't you?
I've never heard anything against it.
No, I think it's not too bad, because you can get like a toilet break or whatever, or maybe get a drink before the race and think about strategy before you actually start. But usually I like to do the Formation Lap actually by myself, because it just gets me in the mood, it gets me all warmed up, ready to go, because it just gets you in that vibe pretty much as well. But some people decide not to, and fair enough, you can't force them to do otherwise. So there we go. Anyway, let us know in the chat, guys, what you think the strategy could be, and let us know who you think is going to win the race. Don't forget, if you're liking this stream, don't forget to follow, subscribe to PSGL and turn notifications on, and also like this video as well. We're almost 1.3 subscribers, which is insane. So that is great to see. As we witnessed something in the background there. We don't want to talk about that. Anyway, Smasher is going to be leading the field towards the final corner now, heading towards turn. I can't remember what turn it is. It doesn't really help
21.
me. 21, that's it. 21. As we're about to get cracking then. I think Smasher's good around this track. I think Smasher could do it, but it depends on what Luck does with his strategy and gets off the line, because in terms of real life strat, the person that starts on pole usually goes on and either wins or gets a podium in the race. So also looking favourably on Smasher at the moment to bring this home, but you never know around here, as we're waiting for all 20 cars to ready up and get started, as I think it's just waiting on Sparks. Yes, it is, because I think there was a lot of people got held up in the field, which is not good if you are the likes of Smasher or Jakey B, because you don't want to be on minus 200 degree tyres like we witnessed with Jakey B in Singapore. But there we go. Anyway, the 5 red lights are about to come on then. There was a long hold last week. Hopefully we don't get a long hold this week. I think it was about 10 seconds. But there we go. The 5 red lights are coming on. Smasher on the left. Jakey B on the right. Who's going to get the bad getaway this evening? And we are underway for the penultimate round. Good start from Smasher. Also good start from Jakey B. Also good start from the 2 Mercedes boys. We've got the AlphaTauri and Williams going side by side in the background towards turn 1. Most people are looking very clean so far. Smasher staying out of trouble at the moment. Already pulling off a good second gap to Jakey B. I think there's a yellow flag at the background. There must have been a pile-up somewhere, but the timing glitch is not helping me, so I can't tell who's. Oh, and it's Ferrari off. That is Rossi. Yep, it's Rossi that's gone off into the hairpin, and we did see an Alfa Romeo or a Haas reset to track, and you're not allowed to do that in this league, so there we go. But a Smasher that leads, Jakey B second, Lutt third, Brown fourth, and Felipe in fifth, but Sam's trying to make a move past Placky in 2. Can't remember with the first DRS straight, coming up. Well, there's no DRS straight at the moment because it's not activated, but Sam's doing all he can to attack Placky. Placky hasn't had many good results, but when he's had good results, it is good result. But Sam gets the job done up into 6th place, but it was quite clumsy for some people at the back, but apart from that, everyone's made it clean as there's a lot of people going side by side in the midfield, Ben.
Oh, 3 wide! Placky's over in the wall! Clenzo, Matthew Reese, and Amos Placky were 3 wide through the middle sector. They went round and Alperondi's turned in the in the last sector, and that is going to be the end of both AlphaTauris then, with damage on the end of lap 1. Well, it's almost like fate, really. When you see something like that, you don't want it to happen, but you can almost expect it. As for the first lap, it seemed to be an issue with Sparks had a problem on the first lap. I think he spun or something at the first corner. And then Rossi and Alex Degu got together in the chicane. So unfortunately that was the end of those two's races as well. But
not
Especially
completely.
should be second, Lutt third, Brown fourth, Felipe fifth, McCabe 6th, 7th Clenzo, who somehow did manage to get Math Racing and all of that, who I don't think is going to be a very happy boy. Rhombus, I believe, is 8th. 9th got to go fast, 10th left at 11th Crescito, 12th potentially Rossi. I don't actually know where the likes of Oxtez and Darkkiller are in the field.
They pitted.
I see, yeah. It's just the time script's just started to correct a little bit for me now. So.
Basically, the timing glitch puts whoever's pitted for damage at the top.
Yeah, I see now. So I can see got the proper order. Rossi gets by Crescito. Those two actually came together on the formation lap. There's still side by side, a little bit of contact there between these two. And
there is contact now.
And now there's more contact. Rossi and Crescito, old friendships back together again.
Oh, Rossi, to be honest, I'm sure Crescito must have learned to expect that from him, because we all know how Rossi drives and stuff like that, but unfortunately Crescito was a very unlucky boy, and another race for him probably to forget, as he's probably going to go into the pits at the moment for a change of tyres. Luckily he's on the mediums though, not on the hards, so if he was on the hards then he would have probably been in a lot more trouble, as he goes into the pits. Rossi is also in the pit lane, and he's going to go on, both they go, well, at least Rossi goes on to the hards. What about Crescito as we go on board with him? But we're seeing some more battles happening, I think, near the front, so we're going to keep an eye on that. And I believe Crescito is on the medium tyres, so they weren't on the hards, so excuse me for that. Brown is up to 4th, so he's getting trying to reel in with his team, and maybe these two could work together now. Brown now the picture of the drivers championship. Maybe Brown can help Lutt a little bit with some potential toe slipstream potentially as well, or maybe Brown just there to hold everybody else up to make sure Lutt scores as many points as he possibly can, as we've got more warnings. That was Crescito getting another warning. His day's gone from bad to worse, that fella.
Yeah, certainly so. On the notice of the front lot, don't be surprised if they are in the next lap. We'll probably see people go for the undercut on lap 4.
Yes.
Which I think is quite amazing when you say something like that. But yeah, lap 4 is probably the earliest you can come into the pit lane. You can actually scrape lap 3 if you're feeling brave enough, as Jake runs off the track at turn 21. A note on Jake, he is using cockpit for today's race. It's his first, I believe it's his first race on cockpit camera, so...
Brave.
Something nice to try. Personally, I wouldn't use it, but each to their own. A camera should be someone's choice. It shouldn't be a mandatory thing. I hate that people ask it for it to be a mandatory thing in league racing.
It shouldn't.
You're just kidding yourself. You're an absolute muppet if you say that, frankly.
To be honest, brave. Very brave from Jakey B. And if anyone that uses cockpit, well done for doing that, because I tried cockpit in one race and it was horrible, so I turned it back to TCAM. And boy, I was happy to get back into TCAM again after that. Anyway, we got Dave Rombus and Matthew Rees going side by side. Dave Rombus almost had the better run on Matthew Rees, which he does. A bit of a slide there, though, which didn't help him much. But Dave Rombus up into 8th position. But Matthew Rees is probably going to want the DRS, which he has. Interestingly enough, Matthew Rees is almost out of hers, 14%. So I wonder why these drivers have used up most of their hers very quickly. Probably because they've been caught up in battles in the first lap. In particular, Matthew Rees almost certainly as well. So he's trying to recharge them as we head through sector 3 currently as well. And you race around here. Is it hard to get your ERS battery back?
It's not Mexico bad, but it's not exactly easy. Nobody of the front 5, okay, correction, nobody of the front 6 decides to take the earlier pit stop. They all hang out for another lap. You're on the point of ERS. Smasher, Jake and Lut are all... Oh, okay, Smasher's at 30%, never mind. So Jake and Lut are both under 20% on their ERS. Brown behind it is on 35, yeah. Obviously, they're going straight, so obviously the ERS is going to deplete. But as you come through the chicane, you get a really good idea of what the ERS situation is like. I don't tend to pay much attention to it if I'm trying to manage it until I hit the start-finish straight, because as he said, it's a fixed position every lap that you can look at it and get a rough analytical brain of how you're managing. There's some tracks where, for example, like Mexico, you only get like 2% a lap. It's really not good. A track like this is probably about 6 or 7%. And there's some tracks where, I think like Monaco, you can get like 25% back on the course of a lap. So, really is track dependent on how much ERS you can save and burn. But the top 4 just remain as they are in this little DRS train. Has got to go fast, makes his way past Matthew Rees now. Fairly easy move on the DRS, bit of a lock up into the chicane, but the racing point is through up into P9.
Let's just say, I didn't talk about got to go fast's DNF rate. It was more than Cressito's. So, according to Connor in the chat. So, I didn't point that out until now because I thought it would be a perfect moment. It's Spart. Speaking of DNF, Spart's out the race. And it's a VSC.
And a VSC. And Lut's in. The top 2 have missed the pit lane. Jake and Smasher have missed it. And Lut, Felipe and McCabe have almost taken advantage of it. Brown wasn't able to get inside the pit lane because, of course, the rule that we saw mainly from the PC tier that let's not get into that situation. You can't cross the start. You can't cross the pit lane line. Once you have committed, you have committed. And Lut is now in the prime position to win this race simply because he's been able to pit under this VSC. And if he can come out as well in front of Daegu, that'd be incredible for his race. In fact, I think all 3 of them are going to be able to jump in. Yes, they have.
Let's
and
go
Lut's
penalty!
a driver over speeding on the VSC.
I think we jinxed him. We jinxed him, Ben.
God.
We jinxed him. No. I think Lut's gonna hate us. Lut is gonna hate us. I mean, Lut timed it so well. So I think you lose less seconds in a VSC than a normal condition. You lose 21 seconds in normal racing conditions. I would say probably a little bit less than that in VSC, but I don't know. Did he? I don't know, because obviously pit assists are off, all assists are off, so maybe he just didn't know that the VSC was there. He forgot potentially as well, which can happen. So we will have to serve it within the next 3 laps. Otherwise, we'll get a DQ. And that'll put Smasher definitely back in this fight. But with the likes of Felipe and Sam, Felipe could be on for his first win of the season.
Interesting thing to know is that Smasher and Jake don't know that's happened as Browning P3 picks up a time penalty. They won't know about the drive-through. They'll just know that Lot pitted under the VSC. Obviously, it depends on what party they're in. I know Lut's in a party with 4 non-ministers, so that kind of makes it a bit interesting on that front. Maybe he's in a party with some of these guys. I don't really know, to be honest. And he is serving that drive-through straight away. Is CRG Lot. So that now puts Shazoo Felipe in the Williams in one of the prime positions for this race. Depending on when Smasher and Jake come into the pit lane, this could be, the Williams could be your race winner here today. Not jinxing anything, of course, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Now, I'm just looking at, obviously, the statistics as well. Lot's won 3 times, Smasher's won 2, Jakey B's won 2, Brown's won 1, Octaves has won 1, and Lefted has won 1. Nobody else has won a race in this league in PSGL Xbox. So we could add a different winner to that tonight. As Dominic, there was a yellow flag in set 2. Didn't quite see who that was, but Octaves get past Dominic. But Dominic is struggling as Perondi is catching up to him at the moment. And Dominic, I got to admit, he was suffering from a few technical issues today, but he's still racing, so good for him. And Perondi is up into 14th position now. Interestingly enough, Jakey B and Smasher still staying out at this moment in time, but it is quite a long lap, so they may choose to go in this lap. And maybe they didn't know what happened to the rest of the field as well. Smasher decides to go in. I'm guessing that they want to get their tyres for as long as they can, because otherwise they will be in punch territory. But I've seen Jakey B's pit wall. They've been told for him to pit this lap. So end of this lap, Jakey B will be coming in. Smasher, I don't know. You'll probably have to. Brown, I think, will be pitting next lap as well. And Rossi just picks up a time penalty as well. I have to say, Dave Vombus, though, he's having a great race so far. He's in the soft runners as well. He's in 5th at the moment as we got another yellow flag. That is I think that is a McLaren of Dark Killer who's having a bad race. One of the reserve drivers for tonight. And he stays in 19th as Dominic is caught up to a little bit to Blackie, but not quite. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the top 3 do at the end of this lap, seeing whether they're going to pit or not. Are they going to pit at the same time? Or, to be honest, if any one of those do pit this lap, the others will have to respond next lap or pretty much the same lap. Smasher won't know what the guys behind him will do, so Smasher's probably got a disadvantage at this point.
Yeah, certainly so. We'll have to see how the strategy evolves for these guys. Jake, interestingly, seems to have come on really strong in these last couple of laps. He was a bit stingent on the last lap, didn't seem to perform that well, but this lap at the moment has been really strong for the Haas driver. Both of these guys, according to their little telemetry thing in the bottom right-hand corner, are both coming in this lap. However, that's never truly accurate. So
they sometimes don't follow Jaff.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to see how these are going to go. And both drivers do stay out for another lap. I've got a feeling, a smasher! Nearly loops one into the barrier there in the Red Bull. That was a very, very close scenario there for him. But good work by the Red Bull to clear it up for that one.
My, oh my, Smasher. I think he must be pushing in with his car at the moment, because he knew what's at stake. If Luck finishes ahead of him, then he's in trouble. But Luck had to serve his drive for anyway, and he's pitted, I believe, as well. Like, he pitted recently in the VSC, so it's obviously 20-second pit loss as we got more yellow flags as Felipe gets past Sam. So they're having a nice battle for potentially the net lead of this race by the looks of things, which it is. So Sam could be on course for his first win if he could keep this up as well. So that could be interesting as well. Got to go fast was passed by Lefted, as Lefted is up into 6th position on the road. But obviously they will still have to...
Jake's going for the lead. Jake is going for the lead.
And he does. Got the lead. Into the DRS straight. And he does it with ease by the looks of things as well. So I'm almost certain Smash has got to come in now, realising that he is struggling, I think, more than Jakey B. And he's pulling away, I think, as well. So the danger is, to be honest, Smasher doesn't need to. It doesn't matter if Smasher doesn't win. He's focusing on the championship, but he wants to score more points than Luck. The gap's 17 points. If he wins and Luck doesn't score points, the gap will be brought down to just 1 point. So between Luck and Smasher, which means it could be potentially anyone's game. But if Smasher finishes second, then the gap will be 2 points, and so on and so on and so forth. But you never know what Luck could do later on in the race. So potentially we could be on for an interesting finale of this race, as it were. I'm a bit intrigued why these guys are staying on for a few extra laps. Are they trying soft to medium or soft to hard? Because that's a strategy no-no from us two, but you never know. I can't remember what strategy Smasher's done in the past, but it's definitely not the one where he's been stretching those soft tyres for how many laps?
Every fibre in my being is telling me these two are making the wrong decision.
Yeah, they are.
However, the more I'm watching, the more I'm thinking there might be the Ultra Galaxy Brain as Smasher nearly Galaxy Brains this championship away by absolutely creaming out JKB there. Big lock up on the brakes, couple of meters too late on the brakes, and then had a simply monumental accident as Matthew Rees clears Alex Degu for P10. Lot at the moment, it has been strong as Crescito is out, and I think he's out of the... Oh no, he's out of the exit of turn 1, and we have a safety car!
That's what wonders for...
safety car is out!
That's what wonders for the top 3. That's definitely worked wonders for the top 3. They can pit now. They can pit now. But question is, what tyres will they go for? Will they go to the hards to make sure they get to the end? According to Connor in the chat, soft to mediums is viable apparently. But there may have been patches after the Abu Dhabi races I commentated at least. But so here comes, yeah, they have to go in. They both go in. They both take advantage of that. So does Brown. Pretty much everyone that's not pitted, I think it's going to be advised by their Jeffs or whatever to go in. And I think the ones on the mediums will definitely go onto the hards because they have no other option. There's no way the softs will make it to the end. And that promotes Felipe to your race lead. At the moment, Dark Kid is going to get lapped, unfortunately. Actually, no, he won't, because you'll be allowed to catch up to the safety car. So everybody will be in the lead lap, which will put Dominic back in the race, and so will Rosie as well. So, and Rosie, sorry, and Placky that are so further behind right now as well. And it may bring Luck back in this as well. But Luck goes in again. Is that the right call?
Probably not.
We don't know.
I honestly can't answer that one. I think I honestly don't know with that call from Luck. It seems like it's the right decision, but we'll have to see. I don't think it's worth holding it out there when he wasn't going to jump a field. If he was still going to be around Jake, Smasher, Brand, that lot, I would, have stayed out, because then the gap at least pull backable. But these guys with the medium tyres are going to be interesting at the end. Especially the likes of Felipe and McCabe, who likely will have to make another pit stop, especially as that they have been pushing fairly full out the whole time.
I would like to see, I kind of wish we would see the tyre wear of the tyres. Cody's make this a feature, please, to see we can see the tyre wear as well, just like the drivers can, so we can see if they're on the amount of tyres. But yeah, they're going to be pushing on a few more extra laps compared to the likes of JKB and Smasher and Brown as well. But I'm just looking at everybody's tyre choices. Daegu and Cleanser have done a bit of a boo-boo. I thought they would have gone on hards from the medium tyres. They've gone one step further. They've gone for the softs. That is definitely a no-no. Now, they'll definitely have to pit again.
I almost like the decision.
Do you?
Maximum attack. Yeah, maximum attack.
Well, I did see someone that managed to push softs from a safety car period for like 14 laps. We got more than 14 laps to go, but they're going to hope that the safety car's on for much longer, so it could be doable for Cleanser. If he makes it work, then fair play, but his tyres are going to be stone dead by the end, as in stone, very, very hot. So, So he's probably not going to be where he is at the moment in P6 because Lefton got to go fastest tyres. If they stay 7th and 8th for the moment, they will probably get past Clenzo around about lap 23-4 time as well. So pretty much everyone apart from, I would say, Daegu, Placky, Clenzo, Sam and Felipe will have, apart from those few exclusive lot, those the ones who have just pitted, they don't have to pit again. I think those tyres could make it to the end because they don't have to push as much on the mediums. They last 17 laps in full race trim, but I think give or take 3 extra laps, 20 laps. There's less than 20 laps to go of this race, so it is doable and it can make it. So it's turning a soft to medium as to be a very possible strat for pretty much the big hitters, as it were. And let's see if Lut can make the comeback of dreams, because otherwise this championship's going to be turned from a really big gap between Lut and Smasher to a very close gap at the final race, which is, I think, what we want, but not what Lut wants, because that means next week he could go either way.
Yeah. A nice competitive championship battle is always nice for your screen, but at the same time, it's always like, hang on a minute. You always have to give a lot more thinking into a close championship battle than you do when somebody's wrapped up the day before. Because somebody ranks up the weekend before, at least at that point you can just be like, sand, just go to the final race at maximum attack instead. Rather than having to consider all the possible scenarios about why if you end up upside down, it's your race over. Instead, you can just be like, oh, I'm upside down, it's time to get 100 likes on Twitter.
Yeah, you could. There's a few ways to think about it as well. If you don't have a fight on your hands in terms of the championship, and if you retire or something, then you can think, hey, I've got the final race where I can absolutely have the best race of my life at the moment, but we will see. But someone that's not meant to be racing tonight has joined, okay, but I'm guessing he wanted to get involved in the action tonight, but obviously we can't because it's a full lobby and we've started the races. Dominic must have got wing damage at some point because he is going into the pit lane on those yellow striped mediums. I think it is for damage. And he's going to go on to another set of mediums. Nope, it's not for damage. It's a strategy call. I can't remember how long his mediums lasted before that point, but at least those tyres are going to get to the end now, and he could push from then on, which could help him at this stage. We're looking at penalties as well. Brown, I'll actually go through the penalties because there's not much happening at the moment. Brown's on 3 seconds, so it's got to go fast. Dave Rombus, Placky, Rozzy, and Darkiller. No one has got more than 3 seconds at this stage, which makes it easier for us commentators to remember at the moment.
Yeah, apologies to sound like I was dying in the background.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
I was having a nice drink of Pepsi and it went down the wrong hole.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. After nearly choking on a roast potato on the weekend, at least this time I'm dying something a bit less painful.
Indeed. I've done that a few times with my drinks. Anyway, going back to the topic of racing, I wonder when the safety car is going to come in. I think since pretty much almost, I think we're just waiting for Dominic to catch up a little bit, and there we go. Good timing there from ourselves, I have to say. Safety car, it's in this lap. We're going to watch how Felipe approaches this restart then, because he is going to he's going to have to save his tyres toward the end, but for now his main goal is to push, get the best possible start that he can get, and Sam has also got to do the same to make sure JKB and Smasher don't get passed on fresher tyres as well. But those 4 drivers, they have no penalties, and one of those drivers will probably want the others to probably get penalties so they can get the way to win easy as well. But we'll have to wait and see. We are going to be halfway in 2 laps time, so it's going to be the be-all and end-all with some of these drivers as well. And as far as I'm aware as well, I'm going to be doing some maths for the constructors as well at the end of this race, and we're going to see if Mercedes have done enough. I think, by the way, this is going, obviously it says 16 points for a race win, so you get a maximum of 32 points per race, 32 points altogether, plus an extra 2 for the fastest lap, so that's 34, so you've got to get at least 34 points gap between first and second in order for Mercedes to take him. Anyway, Felipe has a very good restart. So does Sam as well. And they're both pulling away from Jakey B and Smasher, but Smasher's going a very good run of Jakey B now, heading towards the tight chicanes then, not leaving as much room as they can. Very tight indeed, as they now head towards turn 7. Smasher really wants to get past Jakey B as well, because he wants to, he doesn't want the likes of Lutz spoiling the party at this stage, because the more points Smasher does, the more chance he can take this fight home next week. But let's see what he could do then. No DRS though is activated until lap 16, but it's not going to stop Smasher. Goes to the left-hand side, taking a very tight run once again. All he's got to do is take the switch back, but Jakey B, some nice defending there. Some very intense battling, I have to say. Let's see if Smasher could get the job done one more time, or is he going to be forced to stay behind Jakey B? Nope, he's staying behind Jakey B for the time being.
A little bit further back, Alex Degio has made up a lot of places on these soft on planet tyres. He's gained 3 places since the restart. Brody just picks up a time penalty now down in P13. Crucially, Lutt did pick up a penalty, but as he now picks up Got to Go Fast, he is now back inside of the top 10 and sets his sights on the next man in front of him, which is Alex Degu.
Yeah, Alex Degu having a not bad race at the moment, despite the fact that he also has no penalties as well. So fair play to Alex Degu, of course. But, there's some drivers that benefited from the safety car. Can they continue their form and get a good result in Abu Dhabi on lap 15? Now halfway in this race, 14 laps down, 14 laps to go of this Grand Prix. And basically, the season has gone so quickly, and we're going to be almost at the end of it next week. But I don't think Jakey B and Smasher are doing enough at the moment to get past the top 2, but their tyres are going to be at much better condition at the end compared to the top 2, so they could be the ones to benefit the most. Clenzo as well on the softs. He can't get past Smash, and I thought he would due to the fact that he's on the softs, but we're seeing a good battle happening at the midfield. Alex Degu maybe on the back of Days Rombus as well on the soft tyres. I think if you'd expected a late lunge, he almost hit the back of Lefty there, but he didn't, which is great to see. But it is to be expected for Degu. He's on the softs, and he got the move done up to 8th position. Can Days...
There's one thing you missed about that, Jess. Days Rombus did some of the naughtiest weaving I have seen in a while. He went one way, then went the other way, went the other way, then went the other way. A little bit of contact there. We have Got to Go Fast. Now we have a problem for Perondi, who's off again. Got to Go Fast. I believe Oxtez was in it as well. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. There just seemed to be a lot of cars in a lot of places. It wasn't Oxtez. Okay, that's fair enough. That was another car that was definitely involved in that, and that was going to be Got to Go Fastest race over, and Perondi is not going to be a happy Brazilian.
Nope, he is not, and you're not going to be happy if you're in the likes of the AlphaTauri fans as well, who is 4th in the Constructors before tonight, and he's given up. He's left the session.
Yep.
So he's...
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him, to be honest, but I thought he would have retired from the pit lane, not left the session, but the AI is slightly lower than what these guys' skill level are on, so it won't affect Perondi too much, but that means he'll be in last, and Got to Go Fast will be in second last, but at least Got to Go Fast is still going on, and he's going on to soft tyres. Questionable, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, they can give or take do it, but it will be at 70%, I'm almost certain, at the end of this race. Meanwhile, Jakey B is probably at the best chance of overtaking Sam at this part of the race and the whole period, as Sam goes for a move on the right hand side then of Felipe. Sam hasn't got a win this season, neither has Felipe. Jakey B has though. Please don't make this 3 wide. They are going to try to at least. Smasher could just sit there pretty in the middle of this, and if any of those guys make a mistake, Smasher could fight back. And Sam takes the lead of this race, but for how much longer? Jakey B overtakes Felipe, so Felipe's struggling with his tyres. Oh, there's a little bit of banging between Felipe and Clenzo. Clenzo now gets past. I don't know what's happened to Felipe all of a sudden. He was P2, now he's P6. I think he must have pushed his medium tyres too much before the safety car.
I don't really know how to describe that, other than Felipe just got bullied.
He must have because...
That was mean. It was kind of cruel in a way. It was just so... He just got beaten and banged out of the way, and now Degu is the one on the hunt for his P6 now. I kind of want to cheer on Degu at the moment because he's driving so well. As long as he doesn't make a penalty right now, which he didn't, thank God.
Degu got disqualified last week.
Yeah, he did.
And he's on no penalties this week. So, in contrast to last week, he's doing miles better. So, fair play.
Moderate. He's being moderately more successful at the moment. Looked to have a move down the side of Felipe. Little bit of contact with the back end. There, but here comes JQB.
Let's watch
really
him.
go for the move now. McCabe Sam at the moment. Gaining a little bit on the straight because DRS pulls out. Actually, doesn't actually think about the move. This is where I think tactics going to start coming into the equation. If you're Jake or Smasher, I don't think there's a point attacking McCabe because yes, there's a chance McCabe might be able to go to the end as Lot makes a very important move up into P8 to get in front of Lefted, which will be quite handy. As I think it sounded like you just fell off your chair then.
I didn't. I think it was a squeaky. It was a squeaky chair.
Right. It sounded like you fell off it.
No.
Anyway.
Oh, it might be just my controller on my phone, but I don't know. I don't have a clue, but I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Anyway, Daegu right on the back of Felipe I think Felipe could lose another position at this rate, which for him, it's, I think, to be honest, he was on for a good race. He was on for the race win, and unfortunately, I think the safety car probably came at a bad timing for Felipe as Daegu trying to go for a late move into the final corner, which is hard to do at the best of times, but he's going to try to anyway as they all head towards turn 1.
Oh, that was a little bit naughty.
Yeah, that was.
Nearly trying to squeeze Lot into the wall a little bit there as Darkiller retires in the pit lane.
No safety car.
I don't think Lot is going to be happy about that one. It was a very, very tight squeeze. Nearly gives Degger the old bumper, and finally the Haas has a penalty. We're on the inside. Oh, Felipe, no, he does not, but Degger is driving strong with that penalty. Has got to go fast lap of the race with a 135.9. Degger now, can he make the assault on Felipe or will not make the assault on him? Felipe goes defensive. Degger has to go the way. It's a big blockade on low, has nowhere to go. Degger down the inside. Felipe trying to go the other end over. A little bit of contact with Lund to the back end. Not enough traction there for any three of these cars. And now Degger will be the one who's just sitting duck on the straight. Felipe to the outside line. Here comes Lot when he goes to the inside. Gets the big squeeze again from Degger. Lot all the way around. And finally, the Mercedes is in front of that Haas, who clearly is not doing the best on his tyres. And can Lot dispose of Felipe? Will Felipe make it difficult? He will go to the inside line. Lot now into the triple right-hander. We've seen an accident here before. Little bit of contact, but through goes Lot into P6. A great overtaking manoeuvre there from the Mercedes driver. And now has 2.3 seconds to gain on a potentially pitting WR Cleanso.
I have to say, fair play to Lot for making that move in that corner, because it's hard to make a move for the best of times. The more positions Lot is gaining, the more points that it's cutting down on Smash's chances of making sure that the fight gets a little bit more interesting. But Lot, I think I have to say, is behaving very well, and his chance of winning the title next week is getting even sweeter, I think, for him, which I think, you know, he's been leading for most of the season and he wants to keep it that way in the final round at the moment. But meanwhile, Smasher is on the back of Sam, and this is going to be key for the Red Bull driver. So here comes Smasher, and I think he's going to get the edge. Smasher with 65% of us, and Sam's on 9. So it doesn't take math to figure that one out, that Smasher was using his overtake quite a lot. You were able to get the deployment, and he smashes up to second place. And there's someone going side by side as well. That's Brown and Sam. And again, Brown having more ERS than Sam. Not quite much than Smasher, but Brown's up into third. But not on penalties, though, because Brown's got 6 seconds. But, you know, we're seeing a lot of cars fighting. It's like the real-life Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is different to this one, because these are... I've commentated on many league races in Abu Dhabi. Most of them have been pretty good. This has been one of them so far. So hopefully these guys could keep it up. Smash has gained a few tenths on Jakey B, which could come in handy towards the end of this race. And we're starting to see the guys that didn't pit under safety car, Sam and Felipe, are starting to struggle with those mediums.
Yeah, they're being kicked out of the field a little bit at the moment as Oxtead clears Packy for P12. Packy actually comes into the pit lane on those soft combat tyres. That's going to be the end probably of his little running up towards the top of the field. But I think the crucial people to watch right now, Degu again's getting close to the back of Felipe. That car is getting also quite loose on top of the hill. That back end did not want to stick. A little bit close to Felipe. Doesn't think about the move for now, but it could be coming fairly soon. A little bit of lock up. Good little run through from Degu. If he can nail the exit, this will be a pass for P7. DRS open now. Nobody's going to have enough straight speed. Felipe is using his overtake. Degu is not. Doesn't appear to go to the inside much of the defensive. Degu decides to hold it back. Des Roberts has looked down the inside. Behind them, Matthew Rees and Leftard comes in very, very hard. Mr. Zandvoort nearly just creamed. Oh, he's been cleaning out. A little contact there. Matthew Rees got caught on his left rear, and unfortunately that is going to be Leftard out of contention for this race. Degu clears Felipe, and Leftard, well, I was just saying he was having some issues on the brakes. Unfortunately, his brakes couldn't stop him there from collecting into the wall. Big shame for the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo there. Both were running strongly. Leftard as well from the back of the grid. Well, that's such a shame for the pair of them as Degu now is on 6 seconds.
I'm just looking at the gap to leader between JKB and Lut. Lut is already 3.9 seconds behind this lot. He is pushing. He wants to gain as many positions as he can. Clenzo goes in. That promotes Lut back into podium contention.
Sam's in as well. Sam in as well.
So, to be honest, Lut's hope of maybe potentially taking the title is not over after all. But don't forget, nobody in the top 2 has penalties. Lut does. Lut only has 3 seconds as far as I recall. And he still does. Yeah. Dave Rombers has as well. So Lut's going to go into 3rd, just behind Smasher. So the gap is going to be so close, I have to say, compared to it'll probably be about, I think, 14 or 12 points separating between Lut and Smasher going into the final race. I know Lut would want to win today, the title, but at least he has one more chance in Japan. So maybe 3 times lucky, 3rd time lucky, maybe next week. We'll have to wait and see. Another person making a good comeback this race, Dominic, is in 9th position. He's proving to everybody in this race that you never give up, because other people could have horrible races than you, and you could be the one to pick up the pieces, and he's definitely doing that, up into 9th place at the moment. And Sam is 12.6 seconds behind Flying Rosie after Sam's made his pit stop. I think Sam's going to potentially go for the fastest lap at this moment in time. It's down to Smasher and JKB for the race win now.
Oh, Dominic!
Oh no, I just jinxed him.
Loses the back end, smacks his rear right onto the wall. That could have very, very easily been a safety car, and that would have flipped the entire dynamic of this race on its head. Well, that was almost problematic there. Thing is, Dominic as well, is he's got a lot of cars behind him chasing him on brand new soft tyres. Placky, Degu, Felipe, got to go faster. Okay, sounds a up sold. Matthew Rees and Leftard all on brand new soft tyres as Placky does indeed now clear Dominic to knock the Racing Point out of the top 10. Lot is in the necessary gap right now to take the
P3
championship, take podium here. I don't know how the PSGL system works. I don't know exactly how many points what the situation is going to be like when it comes between Lot and Smasher, but
I will have a look at that.
If they finish 2nd and 3rd, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, and I think we might have a change of the lead. Smasher goes to the outside line on JKB, big locker on the hat, tries to put Jake loses the back end, he almost spins it there, and Smasher goes through. Does he potentially look? Jake has to go on the outside. Smasher puts him out onto the curb. That was very, very tight. And now Brown has looked to the outside line. Will Jake return into the tie right-hander? Little bit of contact, and Jake catches the back of the Red Bull in front. A good little scrap between these two here. Jake has to check him a little bit now. Potentially might have damage, where I'm not 100% sure. But this could be costly for the Haas, and judging by the amount he's turning, I'd say there's potentially damage in the Haas.
Yeah, it could be as well, but it looks minor as he's still going, so I'm guessing I'm just going to watch between Brown and JKB at this point, because if Brown's gaining more time on JKB, then that's curtains, and again, that's bringing Lut into the potential mix as well, which means that
Good news, Jake has no damage.
Jake's got no damage, which is...
No visible
No visible damage, but you never know. It could be in a telemetry in the game which we can't see. It could be like green, like little small damage, like 11% potentially, which is probably nothing in Abu Dhabi, I have to say. But you will see if he's losing time or not. But it looks like he's fine. He can keep going. But he was a very lucky Haas driver to avoid any damage at all. But he's already lost the time to the leader, who could be on course to convert his pole to a race win. And like we said earlier on today, all that Smasher needed to do today was outscore Lut in order to keep this fight alive for at least one more race. And if it's tied next week, it will go down to countback, with Lut getting the most wins at the moment. But I do believe if Smasher wins today, they'll be even on Wednesday. They'll be going down to second places, if not third places as well. So that could be interesting. I'll have to say, Smasher's had a much better second half of the season than Lut, but Lut did get the win in Singapore. That was the only win he's had at the second half of the season. But I have to say, Lut not liking this track. He's and he's also in the drive through. I have to say, he's pulling off a stellar drive to come across the line to maybe finish on the podium.
Yeah, it's been a really, really strong recovery drive from Lut so far. Gap is 2.3 to his teammate. Interesting thing to note, though, Jake picked up a time penalty in P2. Now, obviously, it wouldn't play much of an effect for Lut unless he got a second one. But with Dirty Air being a fig and a potential chance for damage, who knows? I mean, this could be Jake's Achilles heel. Left and fast lap of the race at 35.0. Just picked up a penalty on the lap as well, so it tells me that lap has about 14,326 corner costs in it. But I think that's more enough. I think it's more than enough to actually be disqualified. It's 90. You're allowed 90 basically warnings in a race. So yeah, that would be 30 warnings. Is it 30 warnings?
I can't
30
remember.
Seconds, yeah, 30 warnings. 30 warnings.
Yeah, I can't remember. But last week it took Daegu 10 lots of 3-second penalties to get Daegu disqualified.
Yeah, and it's 3 warnings for a penalty, so thus it's 30 warnings.
Yes. So I do believe, though, as well, no one's on the edge of getting more than 30 seconds at the moment. Got to go faster than 9.
Oh, Jake.
Jake.
So squirrely is the Haas right now. If he can make the move on Smasher, knock Smasher down a little bit towards Keenan, then maybe we could see a bit of a barn burner for the end of the last couple of laps. There is 4 laps to go in this race with the top, with second, third, fourth, and fifth, all with time penalties. At the moment, I'd like to shout out Roxtez, by the way. A P6 at the moment for him is a really, really strong results. Had not the best results. And Rozzy, because why not, is currently on for P7. Yeah, because why not? Frankly,
to be honest, it's not wrong to shout out Rozzy because he was lower down towards the end of the grid, and I think without that safety car, he still would have been, I would say, near the back. But you got to take advantage of every situation, and that's what Octez and Rozzy does. Speaking of Octez, he's on the back of Days Wombus now. To the left he goes to that left apex, and nicely controlled from him. I don't think Days Wombus challenged him for that, but don't forget, Octez, I believe, is on the soft tyres. No, he's not. They're on the same tyres. Octez must be flying. Days Wombus is out of ERS, though. Octez has a lot, so Octez is going to close the door, says you're not having that position, and Octez is up to 5th. But I've got to say, I think the ERS is helping him quite a lot here as well. Lap 25 of 28, about to start lap 26. Very soon, Smasher leads by 7/10 of a second. As long as he can keep those drivers at bay, as Left is retired from the session, and that is not a pit lane, a safety car. And Smasher's missed the pit lane. So
Lut's in. Lut has pitted. Lut has pitted. Oh my word.
Oh,
CRG Lut into the pit, onto the soft compounded tyres. Octez is through, Rozzy is through, Roberts is coming to the pit lane. Dace Roberts is in. Now if Lut can come out in front of the soft tyre rows, I don't think he's going to do it. This is a bold call. from the championship leader. If he's in front of Lot & Co, he will... If Clenzo & Co, he'll be okay. He will get to be full speed in the pit lane. Will he be in front of Clenzo? Yes!
Only
Lot
just
was in front of Clenzo. He slows up a little bit. He's allowed to pass the safety car.
I'm a bit worried though, because the safety car, you're allowed at least two green flag laps.
Yeah.
These guys, I would say, I think Luck could just about catch up, maybe Clenzo, but anyone behind them, they won't be able to catch up.
Will be in trouble, so...
Actually, no, the safety car has to come in next lap. It has to.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it won't. Actually, no, it won't. Because they haven't even co-opted the safety car. So, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be, I think, as soon as Smasher gets to the safety car, it's going to be one lap of safety car. Oh,
a 20-second time penalty for Matthew Reese, who's down in P13. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I presume it's because the game can't give him a drive-through, so they give him 20 seconds. That's harsh. Also, Oxtez right now is on for P2.
Wow. If
Oxtez can catch up to the safety car, Red Bull are going to get a 1-2 finish in this race. I think that is remarkable, to be honest. The top three all do decide to stay out for obvious reasons.
I think, to be honest, if a safety car came this late, I would have stayed out. Because track position more than anything, it's going to be hard to try. Like, Lut is stuck behind Sam as well. And
Lut has put the hammer down. He has put the hammer down.
He wants the position. He's going to lose. He's going to be in P8 because Clenzo's got no penalties. What's happened to the safety car?
Jake overtook Smasher. Jake overtook Smasher for a second.
Wow.
Correct each other. I genuinely thought we just
What's happening to Jakey B? Jakey B, I think, is keen to get going. I think I'm almost certain. But
well, I'm looking at Lut's position right now. He will catch the bag of the safety car queue. There is no risk of Lut not being in the equation for this race win. But the crucial thing is he's got to overtake 6 cars and then pull 3 seconds to win this race and the championship. If he pulls that off, then
that's a champion's drive right there. If he does that,
then that's just ridiculous. Well, it's just ridiculous. Frankly.
I think it's going to be hard if he does it. But if he does, I have to say, I won't be too disappointed if he wins it in that circumstances. But we've seen quite a few surprises happen here as well, and I think Daegu, will just about catch up. Yeah, he's going to catch up. So I think Rhombus as well.
Daegu, Rhombus and Co should be able to catch up.
Placky, maybe. I think.
Have we actually had a safety car in this lap notice?
No.
Now Smasher is.
I probably might have seen it, but I was looking at the chat.
I was about to say I've not spotted it. Everybody's going slowly. McCabe has made contact with Rozzy. A P6. That's not very good.
That'll promote Lup up a place. Yeah, I think Lup will still keep 7th.
The safety car
is in. It's going
into the pit lane. Yes, so it is in the pit lane. Jake gets to the inside of Smasher, who wow! So close to contact there, Smasher and Jake. That was not at all dangerous, except extremely. Lot immediately to the inside line on McCabe Sam for P6. He's already thrown up, already up in a P6. Next up in his hit lip is Rosley, followed by Oxtez, who at the moment stands to finish in P2.
I think Lut's driving amazingly well. I mean, if he could do it, there's no DRS as well, which may hinder him, but that's not going to stop Lut with his travels. As well as Rozzy defends. That's almost...
contact!
It's going to be contact
between
there.
Oxtez and Rozzy.
That may cost Oxtez P2. That may cost Oxtez P2, but we'll see. Here comes Rozzy again on Lut. I wonder what Lut will be thinking at this point. I think Lut...
Probably why is he attacking me?
There's contact. Lut's probably wondering, what the hell are you doing? But... There's a Rozzy train, I think I have to say. It's not the Trilly train, it's the Rozzy train. And Sam tried to get past. There's just so much going on in the final lap.
Jake's gone for the lead! Jake has gone for the lead! Down the inside and he's pulled it off! JTB, despite his penalty, takes in the lead of this race. And if Brown can get by Smasher, maybe force Smasher a little bit further down the field, this could have massive consequences for this race, especially if Oxtez comes out and wins it. JTB through the final couple of corners now. Smasher has not got the best drive. Brown is still very much in the equation. Lott is all over the back of Oxtez. He won't get any sort of positions out of this, but if he can get through, at least it's some sort of thing. Final corner now. Defensive driving all over the place. Jakey B out of the final corner. He's going to cross the line first. Victory will go to Smasher, and Clenzo will take the final podium position, and CRG Lott will finish in P5 in the end.
That's a comeback for Lott, and I have to say, Clenzo with his best result of the season. I would have not predicted Octez and Clenzo to join Smasher on the podium. The only thing I got right is Smasher on the podium, and he's won the race. So I never would have thought. This is Octez's first podium since, let me just have a look, when was his first podium? Since Belgium, when he went on to win that race. That is a big gap. So I think he's going to be an absolute shock, I have to say, for that. But we got a Red Bull 1-2. I'll need to do the math to see if Mercedes have done enough to win the Constructors. But with Red Bull closing in like that, I don't know. But I'll have to wait and see. But keep an eye on PSGL's Twitter at PremierSimGL to find out if Mercedes have done enough. But Brown finishes third with Lott finishing fifth. But the most crucial thing, and the one I'm very excited for, the title fight is going down to the wire. It's going down to the final race.
Well, just well. That's all I've got to say.
In shock?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, so that means with that result then, obviously Smasher is going to be taking the fight to the final round. We'll confirm what the points are like.
I will have a look now, because you get 16 points. You get 16 points for a race win. I know that. So let's go for your order, actually, before we do that. So Smasher in first, Octet second, Clenzo third, JKB fourth, Lott fifth, Brown sixth, Felipe seventh, Sam eighth, Jade Rombus ninth, Placky in 10th. We've got Rozzy, Daegu, Dominic, Matthew Reese, Got to Go Fast, Perondi. Your retirements are Lefted, Dark Killer, Cressito, and Spart. So let me just switch over scenes ever so quickly as well. So let me get the driver standings up, actually, so you can see it before this race. Don't forget. So Lott was leading by 17 points. So, and I will need to get the points up. So just give me a moment. So I believe it's 16, 12, 10, 8, 6, I don't know, but I'll have to look at the rule book, because I don't want to get it wrong and end up doing maths wrong, and it'll be completely pointless. So yes, first place gets 16. So I have to do some on the spot maths here. So apologies if interviews will be slightly late. So Smasher gets 16 points. Lott gets 6 points. So, that's interesting. So the gap, if I've done my maths correctly, the gap has cut down to just 7 points between Smasher and Lott. As they do maths in the chat whilst I was doing that.
Right. That's not something I expected to hear.
Yeah, because the gap, if you win, you get 16, and if you get fifth, you get 6. 10 points exactly. Smasher gained that race.
That is utterly incredible.
If Smasher does that next week, he's champion. He's champion, and he hasn't led the championship at all season. Could we have a 2010 Sebastian Vettel where Vettel hasn't led the championship all season that season and he won it? And he was in a Red Bull as well. Anyway, let's get the interviews in whilst we do that. So I'm excited for this finale now. Can we have the finale on sooner? We got all three podium sitters in the rating room. This is going to be a popular one.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. And let's just say Octet's got P2 on the wheel. So that's good, because the last time we got a podium was on a power. But anyway, let's start with Smasher. Congratulations on your win, and unbelievably enough as well, 7 points in it going between the final round. Were you expecting that going into next week?
No, well, to be honest, I came into this race just wanting to win. Didn't really care where luck finished. I can't really control that. All I can control is me winning the race. And yet, not pulling quality, wasn't a very good lap. The few of the brake mark boards were gone at the second chicane in sector 2, so I lost over a tenth there. But yeah, that were enough for pole. And then first stint, just cruising. Then I let Jake through just to save, and then obviously the safety car came out just at the right time. And then managed to overtake Jake later on, and then that late safety car, and Jake running in that cockpit cam. I don't know why he was doing. He was just all over the place. So I thought if he sends it, there's no point battling and risking me spinning around and losing the win. So just let him through and then won on pens. So yeah, pretty fun racing. Yeah, nice to close the gap a bit more.
Yeah, I believe you're on level with wins with Lutt as well now, because Lutt had 3 wins before tonight's race. Now you're on your 3rd win. This is your 5th podium in a row as well. We discussed last week how you were keeping that consistent form up. Do you think you're going to get the result that you need to next week? And tell us what's been the hardest moment of the season for you so far.
To be honest, I'm real happy with the second half. And if the first half went differently, because I think I got like 2 top 6 finishes in the first 6 races, and obviously last 5 have finished in the top 2. So if that first half season went my way, then it could have been a lot better. But it's nice to see the improvement over the course of the season.
And it's also good points for on the Red Bull as well, with Octes getting his first podium since Belgium as well. Is it great to see your teammate finally scoring some points for the Red Bull team?
Yeah, it's great to see. Obviously, he made the switch to wheel not too long ago, so it's really good to see him finally pick up a result on the wheel. So yeah, really congrats to him. He did really well to say he got damage on lap 1.
Yeah, I think I was on board with that as well. It was quite bad, I have to say, but the safety car did help with that as well. And Japan, is that a great track for you going into the finale? And would you have preferred Japan as a finale, or would you preferred like something else, a different track?
Japan, I think, one of my better tracks. It's probably one of my weaker ones on the game, but anything can happen. Obviously, I was not expecting this points gap going into the last race of the season from where I was in the middle of the season. So,
to be honest, me and Ben weren't either.
What did you say, sorry?
Yeah, me and Ben weren't expecting that either. But considering the gap was big going into the last few rounds, and now suddenly it's 7 points, like, that's Xbox for you. But yeah, well done on another win, and best of luck for the big finale next week. And we'll have to wait and see who comes out on top between you and Lutt, but I literally cannot wait to see who does it, because I think it could go either way. So best of luck and well done on tonight.
Cheers.
Right, we're going to go to 2nd place now, which was, believe it or not, Oxtez. So many things happened that race for you. It started off bad, but you ended up getting no penalties and ended up going from 4th to 2nd. Tell us your thoughts going into this. Were you expecting this?
No, not at all. Coming into this, obviously, I'm still learning the wheel. Had it for about just under 2 months now, so I'm starting to get there. And I did my previous TSRL and WR races at Abu Dhabi, so I felt strong, but nowhere near that strong. I had a very terrible start to the race. I got half a wing on the start, pit, but then just didn't give up. I got 2 warnings really early on, so it was really hard not to get them warnings. But yeah, to get that P2 at the end was what a great feeling.
Yes, indeed. And well, at the start of the race, obviously we saw what happened on the stream as well. Did you think your race was over at that point? Or did you just wanted to keep going and see what happened?
Yeah, I definitely thought I half thought my race was over because obviously, yeah, I was so far back now. So even if the people did a 2-stop ahead of me and I carried on the 1-stop, they still would have kept ahead of me. But I knew it was a massive chance for safety car around Abu Dhabi. It's so easy to crash. So that's why I just kept my head. After I got 2 warnings, I started to knuckle down, and well, it worked.
Definitely, and to be honest, I think everyone is very proud of what you did today as well. And were you expecting that safety car at the end? Because I think we were only going for one green flag of racing. What was your mindset going into that final lap, knowing that P2 was pretty much on the line?
Well, it was quite a shock to see the safety car because it was so late in the race. I didn't realise it actually come out that late in the race. Initially, I was really disappointed because I got myself on a P5, and that was going to be such a great result for me on the wheel. But then when I actually thought about it and I got told about what the situation was, and I found about P2, I was very nervous going into that last lap.
Yeah, you must have been as well. And going into next week, we got Japan as well. Your teammate is still in this fight for the title. Are there any plans next week in terms of helping your teammate to achieve that goal, or are you just going to run your own race and take it as it comes?
I'm all here to help my teammate. Obviously, me and Smash are good friends, so I've helped him as much as I can so far this season, if that's on pad or on wheel. And going into the fun round championship, he still has a chance to win the championship, so I'll do anything I can to help him out.
The fact is, he hasn't led the championship this season, so
Comeback.
It would be a good comeback. To be honest, any of the top 2 that win it, it's well deserved because they've had strong different halves of the season. It's going to be interesting. But anyway, best of luck going into the final round. Is Japan? Obviously Japan's made for the wheel. Are you starting to get better at Japan on the wheel? Are you finding a bit more consistent pace, or is it something you need to work on?
I feel the first time I did Japan, I did struggle a bit, so I'm definitely going to have to put some laps in. But yeah, I do think there's a lot of promise going into the race to try and get some more points on the board for the last race of championship.
Yeah, indeed. Best of luck for the final round, and well done on podium. Your first podium since, I believe, Belgium, when you actually won the race. So
yeah,
that was a big gap, but maybe you can get one next week. We'll have to wait and see. Best of luck for next week, and well done on an amazing result today.
Thank you.
Right, and our final podium sitter, we're getting all podium sitters, this is great. It is Clenzo. To be honest, I was not expecting you to get a podium after the results you've had this season. Your best result was a P7 in Mexico and Monza. Now you tripled that pretty much with a P3. How does that feel?
It feels brilliant, to be honest, considering I got home at 7, so I did 2 quali sessions and no race practice, so I wasn't actually expecting anything going into the race. I wanted P11 and I got it, and then broke away from the medium runners by 4 seconds at the start, which was exactly what I needed, and I was catching the front 3 at the head at the time, and unfortunately then that safety car came out, so I thought at that point my race was ruined and bad luck was going to get me again. But luckily at the end that safety car was a new breath of luck, and managed to not get any pens and get the podium in the end. So I was very happy, considering I've been struggling a lot recently with the pace, etc. So it's good to see.
Yeah, because obviously, you haven't had I believe you had a pole. I can't remember what pole you had, but you didn't.
Russia, yeah.
Yeah, it was Russia, but unfortunately, due to your tyres, which was interesting, you dropped down the field as well. Is this going to be a turning point, do you think, for the final round, knowing that the pace is there and the unpredictability, really? Because I have a feeling next week is probably going to be another unpredictable race with the scenarios that we've got next week. Do you think you could pull off another surprise performance?
Well, to be honest, if I get the practice in, I know I can do it. So that's what I'm going to have to work on, make sure that I'm actually prepared this time, and so I can actually capitalise on the pace that I can show when I can. So, yeah.
Yes, but thank you very much as well. And what has been your most difficult races this season? Because you had the bad luck as well, but what has been the one where you're like, Oh, that's it. I think that my season's over for me.
I think Singapore was very bad. I was honestly awful. It's the worst I've ever driven in a race before. And I'm thinking at that point, I think I'm finished. I'm like just washed at that point. But I've dug deep and trying to get the pace back that I had at the start of the game when I was fighting for podiums in TSRL at the start of the season. So I'm just looking to get that pace back now.
Yes, indeed. And I didn't ask Ottes the question because I know he would have gone for his teammate. But the gap now 7 points. Who do you think is going to take the title next week? Is it going to be Lutt or is it going to be Smasher? What are your thoughts?
I have to back Smasher because every time he tries so hard for the practice. So he's always in a session. He's always putting the hours in. So I really hope for him, as he's a good mate of mine, that he can pull off the comeback and win the championship next week.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, of course. Let us know in the chat, guys, who you think's going to win the title next week. It's going to be an interesting fight, but best of luck for next week, and very, very well done. I think it's going to be a very popular win for everyone, I think. So best of luck for next week.
Cheers.
Right, Ben, any final thoughts before we wrap up the stream?
Well, a very surprising podium in the end. Of course, Lotby not being on there, showing some really strong early pace. Jakey B, of course, with the time penalty and running cockpit today was just genuinely interesting decision. I feel like today's race definitely lived up to expectation. I certainly feel like we're going to have one hell of a championship finale in Japan. The two at the front, I personally can't call it now that Smash is in such a good form. Lot is, well, his bad luck continues, really. The safety car, well, both safety cars arguably ruined his chances of being up the field, so I feel like maybe it's definitely Lutz to lose, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yes, as well, you'll find out who's going to walk away with the title. It's the first time in a while that I'm actually getting a commentate on a championship finale in Japan. The first race I was saying, wouldn't it be great if the fight went all the way to Japan? And guess what? We are getting it. So that's going to be good, I have to say, especially with the top tier as well. So we got two drivers, one who's had a strong first half of the season, one that's had a strong second half of the season, but only one man could walk away with it, and both of them are from CRG. Will it be Lutt or will it be Smash? Make sure you join us next week, same time, same place, for the Japanese Grand Prix, a track where it's been ideally it's best for the wheel. I do believe both are on the wheel, so It's going to be even, I think pretty much even Stevens for both of them as well. It's all about consistency as well. Have a good evening, everybody. And Ben, thank you for joining me as per usual. And we will see you next week for the Japanese Grand Prix, the championship finale. Lutt versus Smasher. See you then. Bye.